So welcome to this, the second part of the Xheader tutorial. We've already been in tutorial part 1 through the application, what it does, its features and functionality. And in this session, we're going to be covering off actually stepping through the process of creating a great looking header graphic with Xheader. So I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. And here we are back at the welcome screen where we started a few minutes ago. So, just like we did a little earlier, I'm going to start this demonstration by clicking the New button up here in the top left-hand corner to call up the new template screen. And from the screen here, I'm going to choose the Load from Template Library option. Now, for this demonstration, I'm going to choose something from the Fashion and Beauty category. Remember, though, you'll obviously want to choose something that's relevant to your own website when you're browsing for a template to use. And I'm just going to scroll down here and choose this graphic here of a woman doing her hair. Once again, all I need to do is to select it from the list and click OK. And here we have our template, the basis, the beginnings of our header graphic loaded into the designer window. The first thing I'm going to do now is to add some text. And if there's only one thing that you change about your header graphic templates, make sure it's to add your business name or something that obviously brands your header graphic for your site. Now my example here, if I just select the text tool and then click once in the designer window here to position where I'd like the text to appear, my example is going to be a fictitious hair salon called Cuts. So I'm going to just type that text into the window there. And you can see it appearing, albeit a little small at the moment, there in the designer window. I'm going to use the additional settings down here to customize that text to get it just how I want it. And we'll begin with changing the text color to white. Now, obviously, to make the text a bit bolder, I'm going to change the font. And I'm going to make the text nice and big as well. Okay. So we can see the text there, it's getting there, but I need to take it a bit further to make the text stand out a little bit more. So I'm going to use this outline fill option at the bottom there to really make the text stand out. And I'm just going to change the border of the text to that black color. Okay, that's nice and clear now. I could perhaps increase the line width to make it stand out even more. That looks great. And now what I'm going to do, just to sort of make things a bit more interesting, to jazz things up a little bit, I'm going to add a shape into our design here. And I'm going to use a filled circle shape. So I just click my filled circle shape, and then I just draw a shape roughly where I'd like it to appear in the design window. And again, because by default it's white, I'm going to change that color. Let's make this a sort of reddy brown color, which looks nice, but obviously I'm going to need to move that shape, that layer, behind the text that we created first. So with this layer still selected, and you can tell that it's selected by that dotted black line around the edges of the object that we've inserted, I'm going to use the To Back button over here on the right-hand side, and clicking that's going to move it back right to the back of the layers that we've inserted so far, and as you can see, it's nice and neatly behind our text. I'm also now going to use the cursor, the arrow keys on my keyboard, just to position it exactly where I'd like it for now. And by clicking and dragging on an element on the design window area as well, of course we can move layers in that way too. That looks great, but what I'm going to do now, just to blend that shape in, which I've now selected again, into the actual overall design, I'm going to use the transparency feature, which if I just click it a few times, increase the transparency effect, you can start to see the image behind showing through that circle shape, which just makes it look a little bit more professional, blends it in a little bit more to the design. And there we go, it's coming together now. Finally, just to show you how the image tool works, over here, the image button, I'm going to insert an image from my hard drive. I'm just going to select a pair of scissors that I have on my hard drive. And in the same way, we can click and move that image around our design. I'm also going to use the rotate tool up here in the menu, to rotate it clockwise, and can you see there's a hotkey there? Control W. Most of the tools here also have hotkeys, so you can shortcut the process a little bit. I'm just going to rotate it a couple of times just to fit my design a little better. Now, obviously, what we need to do is to put it behind our text because at the moment it's confusing the text element there. So I'm going to use the to back feature and then select my circle and send that right to the back as well. There is another way that you can do that by holding the shift key to send it one layer back at a time, but just to keep it simple, I've used the to back button there. And I'm just going to reposition my text slightly so that it sort of fits that scissor graphic a little bit more neatly. And I think I'm pretty happy with that. I've taken the very basic beginnings, that nice, clear, good quality header graphic template. I've added a few elements to make the header graphic my own and to make it really stand out, to brand it to my website, which this fictitious example for which is Cuts, a hair salon. You can see how I've chosen a relevant graphic and how, were we to insert this into our web page, it's really going to add something and get across what I do, who I am, as I was explaining at the top of this tutorial. And that's it. A great looking header in just about 3 minutes. Of course, you can play with all the different controls here, the different settings, but the beauty about using one of the 1,000 template headers supplied is that they get you a good deal of the way there already. So now we've created our lovely looking header graphic, we need to save it, ready for inserting to our website design, right? Well, all we need to do now is to click this Save JPEG button in the top menu here, and we're presented with the optimization screen. This is where you can choose what quality and so what file size you'd like to save your header graphic at. Obviously, you want to keep the file size down where you can so that your web page loads nice and quickly. And you can see actual previews here in the scrollable window as to how the header will look at the different quality levels available. To choose the desired quality option, we just double click on the image of our choice and then save the header graphic to our hard drive. That's it. Header graphic created. Easy, wasn't it? Of course, from here, how you use your header graphic is up to you. If you're an Excite Pro user, I can show you just how easy it is to actually insert a header graphic just like that into your web page. There we go. There's a good illustration of how easy it is with Excite Pro to add header graphics and things like that into your web page. But no matter what web design tool you use, you'll be able to use Xheader to crank out as many headers as you need with the greatest of ease. Thanks for watching this short tutorial. We hope you enjoy using this wonderful free tool.